What was this view called?
Is my
12-mile view. Not that great. Are you having fun now? It's wet. It's the morning of our 4th day on our SHT through hike. We haven't gotten a whole lot of video yet. It's been either really boring and flat snowmobile trails or incredibly wet.
Our first day we did 10 miles from Martin Road to Lone Tree. It was pretty much knee-high grass the entire way. I really don't think it should have been part of the trail. Day 2 was pretty okay, pretty easy terrain. Not a ton of water spots along the way.
We did almost get run over by a beaver that day.
I thought it was a bear, so it was pretty big.
Turns out they're much larger than I thought.
What else?
A lot of moose tracks in the mud, and a lot of mud.
Yeah, day 3, it rained heavy pretty much all day. It was muddy, cold, miserable. It's still raining. It rained all night.
Hopefully today it'll give us a little bit of a break. We're finally coming into the Gooseberry area, so we're hoping the trail's a little bit more scenic and a little bit more well-traveled.
Yeah, we haven't seen much for scenery so far on the trail.
Or people.
Yeah, not a lot of people. I think that's it.
A little bridge damage on Lake County Road 3. Probably be a lovely view if it wasn't rainy. At least we're finally running into some of the terrain we were excited for. There's no mud up here. Despite the rain and fog, that's probably our first actual good view. Oofda. Did you find any blazes up there yet? Too bad cameras don't do these angles justice. Straight where we're going. Do we get a view at the top of this one? No. Just more woods. Found another fantastic view this morning. I'm sure it's great. Lovely view coming into what we think is Crow Creek River Valley. Definitely the longest we've walked a downhill on the trip so far. That tree must have been a big maffer. The sun finally came out. The lake! We found the Gooseberry West watering hole, dynamite location. So we made it to the end of day 4. We're at the Gooseberry West campsite.
We only did 13 miles, but the sun was out and we needed to dry all of our gear out because we were soaked from last night. We had lots of mud all day.
We finally got to climb some bluffs and see the terrain we were excited for, except at the top of all of them all we could see was fog, so really worth it.
We didn't get any rain today, so that was good though. And all of our stuff is dried out, except our shoes. So, we're aiming for 18 days tomorrow.
18 days?
18 miles.
We're walking out of camp on day 5, the West Gooseberry site. I thought it was pretty alright. The walk down to the water was a little far, but
I did not think it was alright.
Bobby did not think it was alright for some reason. I think we're shooting for, what, 18 miles today? Yeah. Finally in state park land, so hopefully the trail's a little nicer and we get to start seeing some more cooler stuff. So we opted to not walk down the giant hill at our campsite, figuring the trail would come back down to the river. Found this lovely little sandbar in the middle of the Gooseberry River for filling up. Had a good start to the morning so far. The weather seems alright.
Still on a stupid detour. But we actually have a view of the lake this morning. view of the lake.
That is clear. Only 4 miles on the bike trail to finally hit the Split Rock River wayside. It's hard on the feet, this pavement. Finally made it back to the trail after that atrocious bike path walk. There's a lovely little waterfall on this lovely little creek just off Split Rock River wayside. Just finished up a fantastic lunch and bath / laundry time at the Split Rock River Bridge, which is in fact very much out. We managed to get across somehow though. Used our bear bag line to Georgia the Jungle our way from platform to platform. Worked pretty well. Only got a little bit wet. The sun was out. Had a nice bath afterwards. Fantastic. Back at it. Going down Split Rock, just as awesome as the way up. It's a little better than all the foggy views we had yesterday. Coming down in the distance. After climbing the Split Rock River Valley, big hill next to it, whatever it's called, we found the lighthouse way off in the distance. Bobby was hoping we'd walk right down by it, but apparently that is not the case. That's a pretty good view. Is that the hill we just came off of? So we made it to Beaver Pond campsite today after 19.9 miles, a little further than we expected to go. There's a troop of Boy Scouts and we didn't want all that rowdiness tonight. So we came across Beaver Pond here. A little overgrown,
but
and
it's alright.
Actually has some beavers nearby. We saw them working when we came in.
We started out this morning at Gooseberry Falls, which was pretty awesome to see. And
it's like a whole probably 2 miles, or no more than that. 2 hours we followed the river down to the Gooseberry Falls. Pretty fantastic walk that whole time. Till we left the Gooseberry Falls and found a
a shitty fucking detour.
Yeah. Was it 4 miles of paved bike path we had to walk down?
Which
Pretty
is
awful.
pretty terrible on your feet and legs when you're used to walking on dirt.
After that, though, we made it to the Split Rock River, which was absolutely fantastic for miles.
Definitely the best part so far.
More waterfalls than I've ever seen in my life, probably.
We managed to cross the river.
Yeah. Although
Don't
the bridge
ask
was
how.
out, we don't recommend doing it after a lot of rain.
We swam there afterwards, though, and we feel clean. We don't smell so bad anymore.
Well, we didn't for about a half hour.
And then we got
were
sweaty again.
Rained on us a little bit this afternoon, and we finally got to do a few bluff walks where we could actually see what was going on. So that was exciting. After that, nothing much happened.
Yeah.
Some swampy, wet lowland.
Mud.
Our shoes are wet again.
Yeah, our shoes have probably not been dry for more than an hour, which is killing our feet. I ate all my food today. So I'm probably burning close to 5,700 calories a day. And I think I've packed like 3,300, and today was the first day I was able to eat it all, so it's good.
I packed about the same and need quite a lot more from what I calculated. We'll see how that goes in the end. That's about it for today.
I think so.
Good morning. Walking out of Beaver Pond campsite this morning, beginning of day 6. Got shooting for just 15 miles today since we ended up going further than planned yesterday. Finally trekking into some familiar territory. Plan on stopping for lunch at the Beaver River campsite, which has been one of our favorite to stay at so far. A lot of bluffs coming up today, so hopefully we can keep our feet dry since they've been mostly dry so far this morning. Both feeling good. Yes, that way. Hopefully we'll get some good views of the lake, and we know Bean and Bear Lake are coming up. We're excited for those. Maybe even a nice swim. No.
5 minutes on the trail, and this is what you get this morning.
It's a pretty alright view of the lake to start the day. Where the heck were we? Can't even see the pond we came from. Over there somewhere. Oh, never mind, over there. Lovely. Just meandered past the Fault Line Creek campsite. This is the water source for it. It looks shit. Coming up from Fault Line Creek, have a lot of huge rock on our one side that I'm sure we'll be climbing in just a minute. Now that I got the camera on, of course you can't see through the trees. Just as expected, we climbed it. Fantastic view though. Out of these dreary and eerie looking lakes with all these dead trees in them you get to see from up on these bluffs. It's a pretty cool approach coming into Beaver Bay Trailhead. Quite the view. So we just stopped at the South Beaver River campsite, a place we've been once or twice before now. Had ourselves a nice dandy lunch. Had a chance to completely dry our shoes and socks. Had this terrific view of the raging river and waterfalls while we ate our snacks. For once, we know we have a nice hike ahead since we did this section last year. fun when you see these landmarks off in the distance. How long have we been looking at that thing? Like 4 hours? Really makes you feel like you haven't gone anywhere yet. Finally made it to the overlook where you can see Bean and Bear Lake. I think they kind of both look like beans, but apparently one of them's supposed to look like a bear. I think that one's Bean. This one's Bean too, slash maybe a bear. So we just had a nice refreshing swim in Bear Lake. Hung out with a rambunctious group of fellas. We're having way too much fun filtering water. Sounds like when they get back to camp, their friend Dave is in for a real surprise. Water was nice and warm too. Of course, you take a nice refreshing swim, get immediately sweaty climbing back up that hill. That lake for sure does not look like a bear. I didn't even realize we were still high up. Nice bridge. Think I can make the jump? What campsite are we at? East Palisade? Mm-hmm. We just made it to the East Palisade campsite, which is huge.
And really nice.
Pretty open. Nice change. Most of them are pretty overgrown and a little cramped. Mm-hmm. We pounded out 6 miles this morning. Get to an early 11's brunch on the Beaver River. It's really nice. And then pretty much just went up and down all day.
A lot of climbing. I just about died. It was hot. We didn't have enough water to start the day with, so I got a little dehydrated. But we had to swim in Bear Lake, so that was nice.
That was what, an hour ago we left there?
I think so.
Got all nice and refreshed. Of course, we are
Sweaty
soaked
again.
in sweat again, and legs are covered in mud again. Are we doing 19 tomorrow?
Another big climbing day tomorrow.
Yeah. Get to hit Mount Trudy right out of camp.
Ooh, great way to start the day.
That'll be fun, I'm sure.
At least the views are good.
Maybe you should enjoy them this time. On day 7, we're meandering out of East Palisade Camp, beginning of day 7 today. We are shooting for 17.5 miles to set us up for our bittersweet resupply tomorrow morning. I've been promising Bobby pancake breakfast on the top of Mount Trudy, which we get to climb immediately today. So that'll be exciting before we meander on through Tetagooch State Park, the High Falls, and then back onto unfamiliar territory again. One hour out of camp and we've done nothing but climb. So not quite an hour. We must be zipping this morning. Doesn't it open up a little on the other side? I thought it did. No. Gotcha. Apparently they put the sign a little bit below the peak. Dashmore climbing we had to do. Sorry, there's no pancake breakfast up here. I brought you another surprise though. After all that tough stuff we went through.
Aww.
Will you marry me, babe? Sorry I'm not kneeling. My legs hurt.
Aww. Thanks, babe.
Don't drop it off, please. I thought this would be a good place for that.
How do you hide it up here?
What?
How do you hide it? Did you buy it the whole trip?
No, I left it up here. Yeah, I've been carrying it the whole time. It's your turn to carry it now. As far as I know, this is the only tree mentioned in the whole guidebook. It's friggin' huge. Look at the size of this mapper. Sticking way up out of there. Can't even reach halfway around it. Well, the day I finally get to see some redwoods, I am gonna poop myself. One thing we've both been impressed with this whole trip is just how fast the landscape changes. It's like an instant. The lake looks cool with all the haze on it. This is a section that used to be called the drain pipe. Rumor has it they put in some stairs since we climbed it last year. Is it true?
The sketchy part is still here.
Oh, perf. It's another one of them. I think the camera probably doesn't do the angle justice. It's got to be like a 60% grade, I would guess. Pretty tough with the backpack on. Oh. Are these the steps, these rock things? Oh, there's some steps. I don't remember these rocks being here last year either. This used to just be a dirt climb. Yeah. These steps are still kind of a little scary. Bridge is wobbly. This bridge is wobbly. Rumor has it this is the highest falls in all the lands in Minnesota. We got it all to ourselves this year. It was packed down here last time we were here. Is that a house? Probably just a cabin, not their house. What do you think their house looks like? I think the camera's all covered in my sweat. Just got to the Sawmill Dome lookout. We are, without doubt, the highest point we've hit so far. How long did we just walk up?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Too long.
Pretty much 2 straight hours of walking up. Forgot all about this view though. Awesome. It's a map where we were just on top of a little bit ago. A little thick down here. Okay, kind of a startling section of bridge we've come across here. At least the water looks nice and clean if we fall in. Oh my god, it's creaking. Interesting. Oh, this must be the bog, huh? What's the name of this? Sawmill Bog? This is the most frightening boardwalk I've ever done. And getting eaten by mosquitoes while we do it. Whoa. We finally found this big giant rock. We've literally been walking an hour and seen nothing but flat grass and trees. No sign of rocks anywhere. And this big mamma jamma comes out of nowhere. So we're at the end of day 7. 18.5 miles.
It was a long day.
Started with Mount Trudy just before Tettagooch. Not as bad as we remember that hike. Still tough. After that, we saw the most giantest tree on the trail. Did not disappoint. Definitely one of my highlights. It was really big.
He only cares about the trees.
Only the big ones. I don't care about the little ones. After that, we meandered through the Dynamite State Park trails in Tettagooch. You could stick your arms out in both directions and not touch trees. That was pretty good. Sat at the bottom of the high falls for half hour or so probably. And after that we walked up.
And up.
And then we kept going up.
And kept going up again.
Then we went down for a little bit, but then back up some more. Totally forgot about the view on Sawmill Dome. It's pretty awesome. A little bit of rain off in the distance we got to watch. Then we went down from there and then walked back up again.
And up. We saw a pretty big rock, which was pretty cool. We just came around a turn in the trail, and there was just this huge rock in the middle of the trail. It was pretty neat.
We meandered through that sketchy bog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you need to say no camping in the bog.
There's just water there.
Nobody can camp in the bog. And then it was a pretty mellow trail the rest of the way to camp.
Thank God.
We're at a huge site, and
It's a little sketchy though. People are a little sketchy.
it's the first time we've shared in a couple days. Which is good.
We saw our friends Mitch and Michelle tonight. Today was the day that I was dreading the most out of our whole trip. So I'm glad it's done and over with. So it should be easy peasy from here on out, I'd imagine.
We had a 2.5 mile run out of here in the morning for our resupply. Get some good breakfast and
Hopefully some cheeseburgers and Coke and onion rings and pie.
pie for sure.
And maybe pizza.
The morning of day 8. We think it's Friday. Coming out of camp this morning was a little rougher than we thought. Apparently can't even breathe, dear. We skipped breakfast this morning, so we're both very hungry. But we are on the way to get picked up by our cab ride to get dropped off for our resupply. We're very excited. Hopefully we can talk them into making lunch at 5:56 in the a.m. If not, I'm sure a warm, normal breakfast will do. It's lovely. Just came to the Sanju Lakes site. Sweet little bridge out to Lily's Island in the middle of the lake. A lot of this roots nonsense today. Some crazy bridges in this section. I don't know how the heck people build these things. Right? That's it? Lame. We made it to the end of day 8.
Thank God.
Like 13.5 miles on the trail or something. Plus 1.8 on the road walking back from the restaurant we got breakfast at this morning, and also picked up a ton of weight to put back in our packs, which sucked.
Yeah, we probably added 16 pounds each to our packs today. Really.
And they probably weighed less than 16 before we did that this morning. Doubled their weight. We
we got our resupply at our place. That's called our place. The food is amazing.
Thickest pancakes there's ever been.
Yeah, biggest pancakes that we've ever seen. They're delicious. I couldn't eat all mine as hungry as I thought I was.
I feel like Lily's Island was the only okay thing we saw today.
Mm-hmm.
We walked on flat dirt through the woods.
That's not true.
On some roots.
We walked on
Lots
roots
of
and
roots.
Roots and rocks all day.
I think I got a video of some roots. So you'll see the roots.
It slowed us down. The weight of our packs slowed us down today. It was hot. But it's done.
Well, we're pumping out 19 or something tomorrow. Getting back on track. We're walking out of camp on day 9. Lovely morning so far. We stayed at Aspen Knob last night. By far the worst bugs we've had so far, I think. We're shooting for a big day of 20 plus. I think we're both missing the kids pretty good yesterday, so we're trying to make up a little bit of time. Packs are still feeling pretty heavy after our resupply, but a little better than yesterday. Hopefully the terrain stays reasonable. Didn't have a lot of elevation yesterday, so maybe we'll have an opportunity to make up some miles today. We've been following this river for 20 minutes, half hour or so. This is the first time we've actually gotten a view of it. Not a clue what river it is. The first one you cross in Crosby, Manitou. Look at all that foam. Still not sure what river this is, but our morning hike through here has been pretty alright. Besides being attacked by that dog, being held back by the 5-year-old. Crosby Manitou so far this morning. No joke.
I'm a fucking killer.
On the lake for the first time in a while. Kinda nice. We stopped at the Crystal Creek campsite for lunch. There's a sign by the water source that says Old Mine Creek. Really quite the cool thing to climb down. There we go. Creek just drizzles down here. Seems to go for quite a ways. Right at the bottom in here, there's big chunks of just white quartz. Pretty cool. We are finishing up lunch at the Crystal Creek campsite. And on the way out we found this fantastic view, and I felt like we got to share this one with you. Normally doing your business out here, not very pleasant. Mosquitoes, it's hot, it's humid, you know, protection, and this is usually what you're doing it in. See, loaded with flies and whatnot. Except this one, when you sit down, look at this view. That's all right, pooping in the woods there.